In this video, we'll show you how to install front disc brakes on a 1965 through 1969 Ford Mustang. The first step is going to be to coat the inner and outer bearings with high temperature disc brake bearing grease. The next step is to coat the inner rear opening of the hub with bearing grease. Now take your inner bearing and place it inside the hub. Once you've inserted the inner bearing, take a rag and clean off any excess grease from the area. Next, you're going to install your grease seal by pressing into the back of the hub. You can see here we have taken a large socket and rubber mallet to aid in the process. The grease seal should be flush with the end of the hub when you're finished. Next, you're going to install your spindle mounting bracket. Place the bracket in the proper location and insert each bolt into the corresponding hole. In this example, we have a 4-bolt bracket, but yours may be 3. See installation instructions for variation of the 3-bolt bracket. At this point, attach your washer and nuts to your bolt and hand tighten before coming back with a torque wrench and tightening to 30 foot-pounds of torque. Next, lubricate the spindle for the installation of the hub and place the spindle through the hub opening. Apply grease to the inside of the hub. Insert the outer bearing. With the outer bearing in place, remove any excess grease from the area. Secure the rotor using the spindle washer and spindle nut. Adjust bearings per FDL-M specifications. Add the spindle nut retainer and a new cotter pin. Press the dust cap into the hub and gently hammer into place. Mount the caliper onto the caliper mounting bracket using bolts and washers. Initially, you'll want to place 3 35/1000 thick shims on each bolt between the caliper and the bracket and temporarily tighten the bolts. Check the rotor spacing through the top opening of the caliper. The rotor should be centered in the caliper. If not, adjust the amount of shims until the rotor is centered in the caliper. Always use the same amount of shims on each of the 2 mounting bolts. Once you have the correct number of shims, you can apply Loctite to each of the bolts and torque them to 40 foot-pounds of torque. Now install the disc brake pads into the caliper with the friction material facing the rotor. Again, there should be even spacing between the pad and the rotor here. Secure the pads in place using a cotter pin. Insert the inlet fitting into the caliper, allowing you to replace the stock rubber lines with the stainless steel Flexline kit. Angle the fitting so the Flexline does not come in contact with any of the suspension components throughout the full range of motion. Next, install the frame fitting to the end of the stock brake line. Now take the frame retaining clip and tap it into place until it fully seats. Attach the Flexline to the bottom of the frame fitting. Lastly, attach the other end of the Flexline to the Flexline caliper fitting.